Hello, our CareFest evaluators. Thank you so much for deciding to be an evaluator for CareFest and volunteer your time to help these homeowners get adopted and be a part of our CareFest program. You are so important and so needed in our CareFest program for these homeowners to be able to get adopted. We need you. And so I'm going to go over the details of what it means to be an evaluator and a description of what to do when you show up to the homeowner's home and what things to look for, what things to be aware of. So we receive these projects either through the city or by referral, or even the homeowner will call in and submit their project to us. So once we are on the phone with the homeowner, we will do a brief interview over the phone to get a description of their project, their needs, what materials are needed. Also, we'll talk to the homeowner about maybe the needs that they have if they're disabled or if they're elderly or if they're a veteran. We'll figure out those things over the phone. So once we get their information, we'll send you an email with all of the information for the homeowner, their contact information, brief description of their project, as well as the evaluation form and the two of the homeowner release forms. So once you receive that in your email, go ahead and call the homeowner to set up an appointment with the homeowner to go out and evaluate their project. You can let them know that you are calling on behalf of Somebody Cares Tampa Bay and on behalf of CareFest, and you're simply there to evaluate the project and figure out what are their needs that they have. Okay, so the things that you need to bring with you for your project to evaluate it is the evaluation form and the two homeowner release forms, as well as a tape measure. Those things are going to help you be able to be successful in evaluating the project. When you arrive at the home, just make sure that you take in all of your surroundings and be aware of the surroundings if there's any danger to yourself or if there would be any danger to the adopting group, volunteering group that would adopt the project. So after you do that, you also want to be aware of if the homeowner needs help. If their house is a mansion, then they might not really need help. They might just want their house to be renovated. So be aware of those things as well. It's up to you to kind of be our eyes and ears to see what are the needs, if they're capable of helping themselves, whether that's financially or physically, or if they really need help. They can tell us whatever they want over the phone, but we don't know that to be true until we have you go and meet the homeowner and see it for yourself. And so we really need you, and we trust your opinion, and we trust what you put on these forms. And so that's why you're so important. While you're evaluating the project, be as detailed as possible. We need to know if the home needs to be painted, how much paint, how many paintbrushes, how many volunteers, how long it would take. That kind of information is so necessary in getting these projects adopted. Also, if there are soffits that need to be replaced, what is the measurement of the wood, how many pieces of wood, if there's yard work, what tools are needed, if it's rakes or lawn mowers. Make sure you list that on your evaluation form, because that will better help us and also help the adopting party know what the project consists of and be better prepared to complete that project. If it's a home, about 1,200 square feet equals 5 gallons of paint, so you can guide by that to figure out how much paint would be needed. Also, we need to know how many volunteers within the 4 to 5 hour time frame of CareFest, because that's usually how much time they'll have, and so how many volunteers would be needed to complete it within that time frame. Ask the homeowner if they're able to help with any of the materials needed. Some homeowners already have the materials, some can purchase the materials, and some cannot. So we need to know that, because the adopting party needs to know if they need to provide the materials, and some of them can't, so they might not even adopt the project if they know that the materials are needed in order for them to do it. We do have some materials here at our office, at our warehouse. We have some paint materials and tools, but those are limited quantities, so it's so important that you let us know what is needed to complete this project, and also we're going to let the adopting parties know what would be needed for the project. Also, you're going to have the homeowner fill out the homeowner release form. That's going to allow volunteers on their property for the day of CareFest. Go ahead and thank them for their time, and that you will be returning those forms to me here at the office for us to review and to make sure that it fits within the scope of CareFest so that we can accept it. And then we'll put their project up on our website on carefestusa.com. And that's putting it up for adoption, and that's when volunteer groups can look at the project and see if they wanted to adopt it or not. And so it's not guaranteed, and there's no promise it will be adopted. We have projects that have been evaluated but don't get adopted on CareFest. And so when you're with a homeowner, make sure that you don't make any promises or guarantees that their project will be adopted and completed. Also, just make sure that you know that you are not required to adopt the project. Your only commitment is to evaluating and getting as much information as possible so that we can do our best job in getting it adopted. Okay, so also, once you have finished the project, go ahead and send the evaluation form and homeowner release forms back to us here at the office. You can fax it, mail it, come on over, drive on over to us and hand it to us. And so we have the forms and we're able to start the next process in getting that project adopted. If the homeowner wants some update or they want further information, don't give them your contact information. They will call you on a regular basis asking for an update. Go ahead and give them our phone number here at the office, 727-536-2273. They can call us for an update. We might not have an update on a regular basis for them, but at least they're not calling you and your personal phone number for that information. Okay, so here are a few reasons why you could adopt or why you could deny a project. The first one is it's beyond the scope of CareFest. So when we are looking at a project, we're trying to make sure that it's something that a volunteer could do. They're just going to be, regular Joe. They don't have any special training. So we need to make sure that these volunteers are able to do a project. So that means we can't accept a project if it would require a contractor, a licensed professional, or a specialist. We would have to deny those projects. Also, if the homeowner does not own their home, we cannot accept it. It has to be a homeowner. We do not do any rental property. Also, the homeowner, we need to make sure that it is a need. If it's not a need and they're capable of doing the project financially and physically, then we would have to deny the project because we want to make sure that we're helping those that really have a need. We don't want to be helping someone that just has a want, and then in a sense we're not able to help those that really need the help. Also, you got to make sure that the project can be done within that time frame. Homeowners will like to put about 20 or 30 projects into one, and so that's when you'll have to tell the homeowner, we can only do something that would fit within the 4 to 5 hour time frame. What are your top 3 projects, or what are your top 4 things that you would like to have done? And make sure that you list those and you prioritize those, because we might have to deny half of their project if it's too full of a project and there's too many needs. So making sure that we know what they really want to have done for CareFest. So as I mentioned, it's so important for you to do this job for us, for you to be an evaluator for us, because it's going to help us make CareFest more successful and be able to help more people that have those needs by you helping us. If you have any questions or would like more explanation on your job duties and what to do when you're with the homeowner, you can of course give us a call here at the office. I would be happy to talk to you and explain a little more in detail. But like I said before, make sure to set up an appointment. You go to the home, evaluate it, giving as much detail as possible. Don't make any promises. Return the form back to us, and then we're able to put the project on our website up for adoption. So that is just the brief description of what to do as an evaluator. Thank you once again for deciding to help us and volunteer your time for CareFest this year. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.